I saw so many athletes get stuck in that moment or in their Olympic identity that they could never do anything else, and that everything paled in comparison. But once I realized that I got rid of it, I gave it to the U.S. Figure Skating Hall of Fame and Museum. Well, I got rid of everything. Anything I ever won, they have. I realized that in that way, those things can become idols. And that identity, it takes over my real identity, which is being a child of God.
Scott, those who know you are familiar with you saying, the only disability in life is a bad attitude. What do you mean by that?
Mm-hmm. I was going through cancer, and you know, people were reaching out, and you know, a couple of people say, we really want to know how you're doing, and I say, I'm fine. You know, I'm fine. And they go, well, I mean, is the chemo as bad as everybody says? No, it's like, it's what you make of it. You know, almost everything we go through is what we make of it. And I've been, it was one of the first things I experienced when I came back from Sarajevo was my orthopedic surgeon, you know, who saw me through a lot of injury and got me to the finish line. He was part of the Paralympic team, and he goes, will you speak at our banquet? And I said, I'd be honored. So I walk in, you know, Mr. Olympic Gold Medalist, thinking I'm all that. And I'm looking at all of these people with the same medal I had, except they were blind or they were missing limbs. And I was so overwhelmed with guilt that I thought I was something when these people are doing things that I could never imagine doing. And, you know, all the quotes come to mind. It's, you know, courage is fear that said its prayers. Impossible just takes a little bit longer. And when, you know, people were trying to kind of corner me into a pity party, you know, that came out. I said, I've met so many people that have done so many extraordinary things under the most incredible circumstances. To me, the only real disability is the bad or the wrong attitude. You know, I've just seen too much, and it's just amazing what God has put in front of me to show me that, you know, we are in charge of our daily attitudes, our daily abilities to rise up to circumstances, and most of it starts in our spirit and in our mind. You know, we just have to be able to step into things knowing that we can do all things. As we said in the first segment, we can do all things. It doesn't matter what we're up against. We own the situation, we deal with our circumstances, and we're victorious in just that. So yeah, the only disability in life, the only true disability in life is a bad attitude, because God's given us everything we need to handle every single obstacle, obstruction, challenge, painful circumstance. He's given us everything we need.
I love the line I heard from a pastor once who said that gratitude is the attitude that determines the altitude for living. And I think that's why you're flying so high, as you've got a great attitude.
Well, look, I'm a short, bald male figure skater. I mean, you know, I just look at that. Like, and when I do my speaking around the country, I'll open with my personal ad, which is short, bald, half-neutered, chemoed, radiated, surgically repaired, retired male figure skater of unknown ethnic origin seeks a beautiful, intelligent woman for long walks, laughter, and an interest in my hobby for collecting life-threatening illness. It's like, really? Like, why wouldn't I be happy every moment of every day?
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Scott, because of your Christian faith, you have a great sense not only of your identity, of who you are, but of why you're here. I can imagine that athletes who live their whole life for that moment of winning the gold medal, I'm working toward this goal, this is why I'm here, this is why God put me on this earth. And what happens once they crest that mountain and they win the gold medal, or they get there and they've lost the opportunity? Talk to me about a sense of purpose and the difference between someone who has their purpose rooted in God and someone who doesn't. I
was talking to a skating dad last night, and you know, he was he's not in the skating world at all. You know, he's in another business, and you know, his son is out there skating. He's trying to understand it, and I just said, look, you know, what you're doing for your son by putting him here with us and our coaches and our staff is really extraordinary, because no matter where he ends up in his skating life, whether he goes all the way to the Olympics or, you know, he tops out at this level, what he's learning and how he's processing failure and how he's learning how to get up and how he's learning how to meet different challenges and ask more of his body and his mind and his spirit. I go, this is a preparation for life that is so unique and so different than anything else you could ever do for him. And he's learning it himself. It's not like you're counseling him, you're responsible for all of this. You're giving him an opportunity to get out there and learn how to rise above any circumstance just by the process of falling down and getting up. And that's it for anyone in athletics, in business, no matter in life. You know, we're going to fall down, we're going to fail, we're going to screw up, we're going to do all kinds of things that don't really represent who we are or what our plans were or how we were really hoping the story would end. But the story is an evolving story. You know, I think, you know, I talked to a lot of my competitors, and yeah, they wanted to be where I was standing on that podium, and they've said really kind things. They've said, I'm really glad it was you that won because you were able to do more with it than I ever would. Are you kidding me? You know, I lost my mom to cancer and I became a fundraiser. You know, the Olympic, the podium, it gave me an opportunity to grow, you know, familiarity to grow, opportunity to grow relationship, to be able to step into places that would, you know, access that I wouldn't have had I not won that gold medal. So to be able to take your podium and turn it into a platform is a really amazing, incredible opportunity. Yeah. And my whole life's goal is to change the way people go through cancer. And you know, for somebody who graduated, well, let's just say I negotiated my high school diploma, you know, it's a big ask, but you know, I know that God is behind it. I know this is what he wants me to do, and he'll gently open the doors, or if a door slams, he'll open a window and just keep the work going, because I truly believe this is what he wants me to do now. But so much of it wouldn't be available to me had I not been, had he not seen me through to the end with that gold medal victory. And it seems kind of shallow to say that, but again, it's just sort of, it all connects. This is where I was, this is where I was here, and now I step into the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. And I feel really sorry for, you know, like a lot of Olympic athletes who get stuck in the moment. Like, I'm talking about the Olympics now, and I love it. It's really fun. But my medal lived in a brown paper bag in my underwear drawer for 8 years until I could get rid of it. And I didn't know why it offended me so much. I had no idea. I had no idea why it offended me so much. I saw so many athletes get stuck in that moment or in their Olympic identity that they could never do anything else, and that everything paled in comparison. But once I realized that I got rid of it, I gave it to the U.S. Figure Skating Hall of Fame and Museum. Well, I got rid of everything. Anything I ever won, they have. I realized that in that way, those things can become idols, and that identity, it takes over my real identity, which is being a child of God. So I love the fact that I was able to do all that. I was really happy that it happened, and I've been able to leverage those things in order to be able to step into the next and to try to be obedient to God's plan for my life. But that doesn't define me. If I would have been off the podium, had I would have, whatever, all the media was saying back in Sarajevo that second is a humiliating loss. Really, you know, it doesn't matter, because when that event is done, we all step into the next, no matter what that is, and we hope to do it with integrity and honesty and with fortitude.
if you're inspired by Scott's story and the things that he's sharing with us today, make sure that you check out Scott Hamilton Cares Foundation, which is dedicated to turning fear into hope for cancer patients. Scott, this has been amazing. Thank you for your insights, not only into the sport of figure skating and the Olympics, but also the wisdom that you've shared with all of us today.